Hi, welcome to Foam Cushions Part 2. In this video, we're going to talk about selecting the foam cushion. Remember, the foam, as featured on the website, cushionsexpress.com, and that's Express without the E. It's just Cushions Express. Okay, we're going to start out talking about the first foam, which is our hardest foam, the 5520. First, let's get real quickly into the numbering system. The 55 in the front stands for the firmness, and the 20 stands for the density. Firmness and density are not necessarily related. You can have a dense foam that's very soft as well. Firmness is the first two numbers. It's the ILD. It's a test run on a 50 square inch piece of foam, 4 inches thick, and it's how much weight it takes to compress it down. 25%, in that case, it would be down to 3 inches. So basically, that's the test. 55 means it's a very firm foam. I'm going to sit on them so you can get an idea, a rough idea of what I'm talking about. As you can see, I'm still pretty high on this foam. This foam should be used primarily in a situation where you only have 2 or 3 inches worth of foam to work with, like a window seat, or perhaps you have a thick cushion, but you don't want to sink into it at all. Either you've had hip surgery or hip problems or back problems, and then you don't want to sink into the seat. That way you can get up from it easily. This is the foam to use for something like that. Also, if you're a very heavy person, I'm about 190 pounds. If you're a very heavy person, 270, 280, and you don't want to sink into the foam very much, this is also the foam to use. Our next foam is the second softest foam for the seat cushions. It's the second hardest foam for the seat cushions, and that's the 45-18. 45 is the compression, the hardness of the foam, and the 18 is the density. That's 18 pounds per square foot. You can see I sink into this one just a little bit more than I did the 55-20, but it's a little bit more comfortable as well. In order for you to feel comfortable on a foam, it's got to mold itself, deform itself to the shape of your rear. That's the way you absorb the energy from you sitting there, and basically it gives, and that's what foam has to do. So deformation is a good thing. Sinking is a good thing to some degree in order for you to feel comfort. This is a good foam to sit on. It's a little hard for my taste. Again, in a situation where you have 3 inches or less, 2 inches, this is not a bad foam to work with. The 55-20 and these are the two most used foams for like church pews or window seats or something like that. In the case of the 55-20, it's used for more of an industrial use. You don't know who's going to sit on it. This one, if you know that you're going to have people under 200 pounds, you might be better off with this one. It's a little bit more comfortable. In a 2-inch situation, 3 inches, 4 inches, again, it's a good foam to work with. I think it's a very comfortable foam. If you have 4 or 5 inches of foam to work with, in other words, your seat is 5 inches or 4 inches, you might want to consider this next foam, because it's a little bit more comfortable in a situation where you have 5 inches of foam to work with. 4 inches or 5 inches or 6, this one would be more advisable than the 45-18. As you can see, I sink into it a little bit more. It's still got some support. I feel fine in it. It's firm, but not too firm. It gives quite a bit, and I'm able to sit on it. 5 inches of foam, this is great. It's soft. It works. My favorite foam, again, I'm 190 pounds. My favorite foam to sit on is this one. It's a 36-18. 36 again is the compression. 36 is the compression, and the 18 is the density. The compression is how hard the foam is. This one, it really sinks for me. It's a nice feeling, comfortable. I can wobble a little bit, but I'm not really unstable with it. I'm fine with it. Again, 5 inches or more, this is a good foam to sit on. 4 inches, and you're relatively light, like 160, 150. It's a good foam too. Next foam is a 3115. It's a good foam. It's very soft. For me, it's too soft, but for a kid's room or a room where only small adults are going to sit on, like ladies with 120, 130 pounds, this is not a bad foam. It's a very comfortable foam. I've had people come in here and say, this is the foam I like. Generally, the ladies like this foam because it for their weight range, it does very well. 3412 is a very economical foam. It is a little bit more support than the 3115, but look at it. It sinks down quite a bit. It cushions you well. If you have over 5 inches of foam, this is not a bad foam, but you're looking short term, probably 3 years, 4 years, and then the foam starts to give out. Talking about the longevity, the 20 will last the longest, the 18 will last the next longest. You're talking about the 18 will probably last a good 9-10 years. This one over here, 3 years. The 15, which is the density on the back, probably at least 6-7 years. This is a 2818. It's a nice foam. It's really a back foam or a very, very soft seat foam. We have it in the back foam category. You can sink into it. You can sit on it. But it's very comfortable. I like it. But that's only because if you want to wobble a little bit, it is. If you have 6 inches, you might be able to get away with it as a seat foam. It's listed under back foams, and that's the way I would do it. It's a back foam. Okay, those are the back foams, seat foams, and so on. This foam over here that we have right here is actually a back foam. It's a 2115. Let's put it that way. 2115. I'm going to sit on it just so you know it has absolutely no support for sitting. It's a very soft back foam. It's the next to the softest. See, I'm down to nothing. Okay? It is a good back foam though. Remember, your back only has to take about 20% of the weight. You're just reclining on it. You're not sitting directly on it. That's why the back foam doesn't have to be nearly as firm as the seat foam. And this is our softest foam right here. It is the 1516. It's a very soft. It gives quite a bit. I'm sitting on it. Went down to nothing. But it's a back foam. It's not made for sitting. So use it accordingly. I think those two, the ones I just showed you, the 2115 and the 1516. This is the 1516, by the way. The 2115 and the 1516 are probably the two best foams for the back. I like them because they're soft and they give quite a bit. All right. Next, we're going to discuss down and feather envelopes. And we're going to take a look at the different types of feathers and foams that we can use for them. Thanks a lot.